What if you could describe a mobile app in plain English and have a fully designed UI appear in under 2 minutes? No Figma, no design experience, and no templates to mess with. Well, that's exactly what Google Stitch does. And the crazy part, it's completely free right now through Google Labs. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Stitch to design a landing page, an app, or a full website layout without touching a single design tool. And I'll walk you through the AI canvas, show you how to go from an idea to an interactive prototype, and break down how creators and entrepreneurs can actually use this in their workflow. And speaking of turning ideas into finished creative work with AI, a huge thanks to Freebeat.AI for sponsoring this video. Freebeat does the same thing but for video. You choose the music, describe the vibe, and get a fully produced, lip-synced music video. No editing required. And before we jump into the Stitch walkthrough, let me quickly show you how Freebeat works. So first, head over to Freebeat.AI, and the first thing you'll do is add your music. You can paste a link from Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, or Suno, or just upload your own audio file. And then once your song is loaded, you select the specific snippet that you want to build the video around. You could set the duration and choose exactly which section of the track to use. Next, you'll write a text prompt describing the vibe that you're going for, or you could just leave it blank and let the AI guide your video. Then pick a character for the video. Freebeat has a library of pre-made characters to choose from, but you could also upload your own. Then after that, you'll set the video style. There's a ton of options here like photorealistic, anime, cyberpunk, digital art, and more. You can also configure the aspect ratio, resolution, and captions, but once you're ready, click Create, and that will send it to the AI agent. And then this is where things get really interesting. Freebeat doesn't just throw a video together. It runs through a full production pipeline. The agent analyzes your music, breaks it down by tempo, mood, and structure, and then builds out a creative brief, generates reference images for your characters and locations, plans the scenes and the shots, creates a storyboard, and then generates the actual video clips. And you can collaborate with the agent at every step. It'll ask you questions, gives you options, and lets you refine things before moving forward. It's like having your own AI co-director walking you through the entire production. And then when it's done, you get a fully produced, lip-synced music video that matches your track. Let's check it out.
But I'll find my way, stumbling forward anyway. Might get lost, might break, still I move. Just keep walking through.
So if you're a musician, a content creator, or you just want to turn a song into a visual without hiring a whole video team, Freebeat.AI is worth checking out, and I'll have a link in the video description below. All right, on that note, let me show you the magic of Stitch. Okay, first things first, head over to Stitch, and you can get there by visiting the link in the video description below. And that'll take you to the Stitch homepage, where on the left sidebar you have your project history. And then in the center, there's a welcome screen with a prompt text input box. And there are example prompts across the top to give you a feel for what's possible right away and to help you out if you're running into some roadblocks in terms of how to get started. Then in the prompt bar, let me go over some of the features. Starting in the bottom left corner, there's a plus button. This lets you attach a screenshot, a sketch, or a visual inspiration directly to your prompt. So if you've got a rough sketch on paper, a screenshot of an app that you like, or even just a mood board image, you could feed that into Stitch alongside your text description to steer the output. Next, you've got the app and web toggles. So app tells Stitch that you're designing for a native mobile app. Web tells it that you're designing for desktop. Simple but important. It changes how the layout and components are structured. Then there's the design system icon, and clicking this opens a design systems panel where you could either create a new one by importing from a website URL or bringing in a design.md file, or you could choose from a set of built-in presets like Alexandria, Glacier, Carbon, etc. So even if you don't have your own brand system yet, you can grab a preset and have Stitch generate with a consistent visual right out of the gate. Next to that, the model selector gives you 4 modes to choose from. 3 Flash is the default. It's fast and exports to HTML. Thinking with 3.1 Pro is slower but higher quality, great for more complex projects. Redesign lets you attach a screenshot of an existing app or site and then have Stitch rebuild it. And then ideate is for early brainstorming. So bring in a problem and let Stitch help you think through directions before committing to a full design. The next little icon there is the live mode button, and this one's pretty unique. So instead of typing your prompts, you move into the canvas and use your mic to talk with the AI directly. It's a voice-based ideation and collaboration mode. So you could think out loud, describe changes conversationally, and have Stitch respond in real time without ever touching the keyboard. Finally, just below the prompt box, you'll see a Start with a Design.md button, and clicking that opens a panel with 4 ways to bring in a design system. You could upload the MD file that you already have, you could paste one directly, generate one from an existing codebase, or pull one from a live website. Those last 2 options are really powerful if you're building something that needs to match an existing product. Now, we're not going to go deep on this today, but it's worth knowing that this feature's here. Okay, that's a lot packed into one toolbar, but let's actually use it. So for this example, I'm just going to simply enter a text prompt that says, design a mobile fitness tracking app with a dark theme, electric blue accents, a dashboard showing daily steps, calorie burn, and a weekly progress chart. And again, we're keeping the app toggle on, so this will generate a design for a mobile app. Then go ahead and hit the generate button in the bottom right corner, and Stitch switches immediately to an infinite canvas workspace. On the left, you've got an agent log panel that narrates exactly what it's doing in real time. Then on the right is where the preview will display on the canvas. Then as Stitch gets going, the first thing that it generates is not the screens, but it builds a design system first, which is kind of blocked by the agent log right now, but it'll reposition in just a bit. However, this is the full color palette, typography styles, button variants, and UI components all laid out on the canvas. This is Stitch establishing the visual language of our app before it draws a single screen. Then it begins generating all the screens simultaneously, and you could watch them appear as the placeholders fill in. And this took about 60 seconds or so to complete, so I'm speeding it up for the sake of time, but in my case, we got 4 screens: dashboard, profile and goals, activity tracking, and social leaderboard. And each one is a labeled frame on the canvas side by side. And then the final result's pretty impressive. We got a nice set of app screens, and you could even reposition them any way you like and whatever fits your workflow. And then taking a closer look, we got a dark theme, electric blue accents, a step tracker with a circular progress ring, calorie burn, heart rate, weekly progress chart, recent workout sessions, and a full social leaderboard with friend rankings. It's not pixel perfect, but absolutely a solid foundation to work from. Then after the generation's done, Stitch surfaces follow-up prompt suggestions right in the prompt bar. Things like change the accent color to neon green or add a screen for a specific workout. It's pointing you towards the next iteration before you even know what to ask. I love that feature. But before we start making edits, let me show you your editing options. So this is where Stitch really gets interesting because the editing experience is more capable than it looks at first glance. So once your screens are generated, you can click on them to single them out, and then you're presented with a toolbar across the top with 4 main menus: generate, modify, preview, and more. The generate menu is where you go when you want to create something new or change the direction. You've got instant prototype to turn your screens into a clickable flow, variations to spin up alternate layouts without losing your original, regenerate to start fresh, predictive heat map to see where users are likely to focus. That's really cool. Desktop web version to reformat your design for a larger screen, and missing states. This is a new feature which automatically fills in UI states you might have overlooked, like empty states or error screens. Next to that is the modify menu. This is where you do your hands-on editing. You've got 3 options: edit, annotate, and design system. Edit mode is worth walking through specifically because it's more capable than it looks. So whenever you go to edit and select it, you're able to hover over any individual element on the screen and click on it to select it. And whenever you do that, it opens an edit element pop-up with 2 choices: edit text, which lets you change the copy directly, or edit with AI, which opens another prompt box where you just describe the change that you want to make in plain English. So if you want to update a label, you could just type it yourself. If you want to change how something looks or behaves, you can describe it and let the AI handle that. Then annotate works in a similar spirit. So go ahead and open the modify menu again and select annotate. And then this time, you could use your mouse to select an element by dragging your mouse over the elements that you want to edit, and it creates a border around it. And all you do is within that little field there that says describe your change, just type what you want to change. And for this example, I'm just going to quickly say, make this more neon. And I know that's kind of general, but we'll send that through and Stitch will get to work generating a revised version of that screen right next to the original. Now, again, I'm speeding up for the sake of time. This only took about 20 or 30 seconds or so, but you can compare before committing. And it's a really natural way to iterate without having to redo the entire design. Then back to the toolbar, the preview menu lets you preview your design in multiple formats, mobile, tablet, and desktop. And then you could also open in a new tab for a full screen preview or show a QR code to pull it up instantly on your actual phone. The QR code option is a small detail, but incredibly useful for sharing a work in progress with a client on the spot. Then the More menu is your export hub. You could view code for the HTML and Tailwind CSS output, copy to Figma, export, and then download and delete. Then one of the most powerful things about Stitch is that once you're inside the canvas, you can keep iterating through the prompt bar at the bottom, and it's smarter than it looks. Notice that it shows a context tag for whichever screen that you have selected. So whenever I had the dashboard selected, the box showed dashboard right in the prompt. That means your prompt is scoped for that specific screen. Stitch knows exactly what you're talking to. There's also a design system icon right in the canvas prompt bar as well. And if you click on it, it'll show you your current active design system. And in our case, it's Kinetic Performance. But below that, you could also browse a list of presets to switch to mid-project if you want to. And let's check out Obsidian. So we'll click that and you get a little preview of what it looks like. It looks like some deep purple and violet accents. So we'll switch to that. And this time we'll enter a prompt that says, apply the Obsidian color scheme to the dashboard. And then we'll send that through and Stitch gets to work applying the new Obsidian color scheme. Now this took a few seconds, so once again I am fast forwarding for the sake of time, but Stitch generates a brand new Obsidian dashboard variant and places it right on the canvas next to the original so you can compare the two side by side. Same layout, same data, completely different visual personality, and electric blue is gone now, but you've got deep rich purples, blacks, and a different typography feel. It's a dramatic shift with just a single prompt. Then since I like this variant so much, I'm going to follow up with apply the Obsidian color scheme and font styles to the rest of the mockups. And then we'll send that through and Stitch works on regenerating all 4 screens in that new style. Now, one thing I wish they would update is the placement of generations within the canvas. At the moment, if you generate new mockups, they kind of get placed all over the place, but thankfully, you have the freedom to rearrange and align them however you see fit. Not a huge deal, but I just wish they were a bit more organized after being generated. All right, then another quick tip for viewing the mockups. There is a zoom feature in the lower right corner. Clicking that shows you the zoom options in the keyboard shortcuts. Just a quick way to navigate and view what you're working on in Stitch. Anyway, now we have 2 complete design directions sitting side by side, and you can keep going from either one. And this is probably the fastest way that I've seen to explore a major design pivot. No starting over, no losing your work, just a prompt and a new direction. Okay, once you've got a design that you're happy with, one of the most impressive things that Stitch can do is it can turn it into a clickable prototype instantly. So all you do is hit that play button in the top right corner, and this takes you into a completely separate prototype editor. And right away, something cool happens. Your design renders inside a photorealistic mobile device frame, like an actual phone sitting on the screen. Not a flat wireframe, not a browser window, a phone. And you can see exactly how your app would look on a real device. That's a really nice touch that I didn't expect. But here's where it gets really impressive. You can actually interact with the app right here. You could click the navigation tabs, scroll through the content, tap buttons, and it will respond if you've set your design up that way. And you're not just looking at a static design anymore, you're using the app. And for something that started as a text prompt less than 10 minutes ago, that's kind of cool. Okay. If you take a look in the upper left corner, we've got a Screens in Prototype panel showing the thumbnails of every screen in the flow, which is only the dashboard at the moment because that's all we selected. And then there's also buttons to add more screens or use Imagine a New Screen to have the AI generate an entirely new one on the spot. So if you're demoing this to a client or a stakeholder and they say, what does the workout detail screen look like? You can generate it right then and there without leaving the prototype editor. Then there's also a device switcher on the right toolbar that lets you flip between mobile, tablet, and desktop views. And this isn't just scaling the phone frame up, the layout actually reformats, and the components will reflow into a wider grid. And then if you switch to desktop, it expands further. Stitch is adapting the design to each screen size in real time. Then if you want to tweak something without leaving the prototype, just click Edit in the top toolbar there. And then just like the canvas, you can click any element directly on the device frame and edit it right there. Then to get back to the preview, just click Preview. All right, then once you're done, to head back to the main canvas, just click your project name in the upper left corner. And then you'll see the prototype appears as its own labeled frame right alongside your other screens. So your canvas becomes a living record of every direction that you've explored. There's the original designs, variants, and the prototype all in one place. And then you could also revisit the prototype by just double-clicking on that placeholder right there on the canvas. All right, whenever you're ready to take your design out of Stitch and actually build something with it, you've got a few different paths depending on what you need. The simplest way is to either click on an individual screen or just click and hold your mouse down and drag across all of them to select multiple screens. And then you'll see a border appear around all of them. Right-click anywhere on the mockups and a context menu will appear with a full set of options. And towards the bottom there, you have the option to download or export. If you download, Stitch will package everything into a zip file that lands on your device. And then if you want more control over the output format, click Export either from that same menu or from the Export button in the upper right corner of the canvas. And that opens a dedicated export panel with 6 format options. AI Studio, which ships your design directly into Google's AI Studio so you could start building with it immediately. Figma, to bring it into your design workflow for further refinement. Jules, which hands it off to Google AI's coding agent. Zip, for a standard file download. Code to Clipboard, which copies the HTML straight to your clipboard. MCP, for piping it into your own developer tools. And Project Brief, which generates a written summary of the design. The AI Studio export is worth calling out specifically. All you have to do is add a short description, something like "make this real," and then hit Build with AI Studio, and Stitch opens AI Studio and starts downloading the HTML and image files in the background. That's a pretty direct pipeline from a design concept to something a developer or AI agent can start working with. And then finally, there's the Share button in the top right. This opens a Share project panel where you can toggle on enabling sharing and remixing, and when you do, anyone with the link can view your project and remix it, meaning they can take your design and start iterating from it in their own Stitch workspace. It's a great way to hand off a design to a collaborator or share your work publicly, and you could revoke access at any time, though Stitch notes that any remixed versions that have already been made won't be removed. Just FYI. Alright, so that's Google Stitch, a free AI native design tool from Google Labs that takes you from a plain English description to a multi-screen app mockup with a full design system, editing tools, and a live preview, all in under a few minutes. And if you're building a blog, an app, a SaaS product, or just want to visualize an idea quickly, this one is genuinely worth adding to your workflow. So give it a shot at stitch.withgoogle.com and let me know in the comments what you build with it. I'd love to see what you come up with. So that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Also, if you're looking to start a blog, check out these 2 videos on how to build, grow, and monetize a WordPress blog. They'll walk you through the entire process step by step. And as always, your support means a great deal to me and my family, and for that, I thank you. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.